Hello, I'd first like to introduce myself. My name is David Ramirez, and this is my digital literacy narrative for my English class here at UNA. I still remember my first time using an Apple computer. It was sometime back in elementary school, about 10 or so years ago. This was honestly such a cool experience, even though we first used the computers to do a test, the dreaded A2L, which was called the Assessment to Learn. That was the beginning of my loyalty to the Apple company and its all its product. Time on the IMAX was spent mainly playing some online games. The games were mainly some math games, but I loved math back in the day, and sometimes when my teacher wasn't paying attention, I would go to miniclip.com and play some less educational games. During my time in elementary school and middle school, I learned how to use many different programs on the IMAX. Programs like PowerPoint, Word, GarageBand, iMovie, and many other ones. I really loved using the iMac. I'm surprised I didn't end up being such a tech nerd. My real love for iOS came when my parents bought me an iPod Touch for my 14th birthday. I remember I was super excited when my dad took me to Walmart to go pick it up. I waited such a long time for this. I went through about 2 grueling years of my older sister showing up her iPod to me. Even though I finally had my iPod, I still didn't know how to use it. I was so confused. I didn't know about the App Store, iTunes, iMessage, FaceTime, and other apps like that. The main thing I wanted to know was how to download music to my iPod. I had to beg my older sister to teach me how to do it. I felt so cool to do it because, it was illegal and it was just so awesome to be able to have your own music and be able to listen to it whenever you'd like to. I would also watch a lot of YouTube videos that would review and show you how to use the iPod. After a good 2 years or so, I was able to get something new, and that was the iPhone 5S. I found out even more about iOS with my new phone. The coolest feature of this was that I was finally able to learn how to use Siri, the software that is embedded in pretty much all Apple products now. I felt as if I was the expert between my friends. I would always show them tips and tricks I learned. I even convinced a couple of them to get iPhones as well. Now that I'm older and that I have a job, I was finally able to purchase my first ever MacBook for college. Now this is where I really struggled to adapt to a new device. I was never a fan of laptops. I honestly hated them. I much preferred desktops. The hardest part for me was getting used to the trackpad. Instead of a dedicated wired mouse, I had to get used to just using your fingers on the trackpad. Also, learning the little nuances of the laptop is very confusing. For example, dragging your fingers across the trackpad in a certain way can move the screen, or you can go back to a certain page and stuff like that. Even though that I've had a couple of months to get to know how to use it, I still haven't learned all the things I should. I've experienced a pretty huge learning curve with this MacBook. One thing that I've trying to do at this point is learning how to type without looking. I never knew it would be this hard, but eventually I'll be able to learn every little macro aspect of the laptop, and it'll just take a little bit of time. And thank you for watching.